Welcome to the Dhamma podcast. The video that follows is entitled A Simple Path, Interview Excerpts on Vipassana Meditation by S N Goenka. This podcast will be updated monthly with additional archives from S N Goenka's talks and question and answer sessions, as well as other speakers discussing various aspects of Vipassana meditation. This podcast is sponsored by Pariyatti, a non-profit publisher that offers written, audio, and video content, and whose mission is to enrich the world by disseminating the words of the Buddha, providing sustenance for the seeker's journey, and illuminating the meditator's path. For more information regarding Pariyatti, please go to www.pariyatti.org. That is www.pariyatti.org. For more information on Vipassana meditation as taught by S N Goenka, please see www.dhamma.org. That is www.dhamma.org.
Vipassana is a science of mind and matter, how the mind is influencing the body, and in return how body is influencing the mind. And it all happens at the depth of the mind. The conscious mind does not know what is happening deep inside. And one keeps on developing a habit pattern of reacting with craving whenever there is a pleasant sensation, reacting with aversion whenever there is unpleasant sensation. And constantly there are sensations throughout the body, pleasant, unpleasant, pleasant, unpleasant. The conscious mind may not react, but the deep unconscious is constantly reacting. It has become the slave of its own habit pattern of craving, aversion, craving, aversion. All other impurities of the mind, all other defilements of the mind are just product of these two, craving, aversion, craving, aversion. And whenever one generates craving or aversion, one loses the peace of the mind, the harmony of the mind, the balance of the mind. One becomes a miserable person. Without knowing that I am harming myself, one keeps on harming oneself. There are other techniques, we are not here to condemn them. Those techniques work at the surface level of the mind, to calm the mind, perfectly all right, to purify the mind, perfectly all right, but just on the surface level, or maybe slightly deeper. But this works, it starts working at the root level. The root level of the mind is constantly in contact with body sensations. Mind and matter are so interconnected. Constantly, and there the habit pattern of craving aversion is going on. So you have to break that habit pattern, for which you have to go to the depth of the mind. You have to make a part of the mind very sharp. So you join a 10-day course, and 3 days continuously you have to work observing the breath as it comes in, as it goes out. Natural breath. No breathing exercise, not try to control the breath. Natural breath as it comes in, as it goes out, keeping your attention on a small area below the nostrils, above the upper lip. And because you are with the truth, there is no imagination, there is no verbalization, there is no visualization, there is no self-suggestion, auto-suggestion, just the truth that you are experiencing the breath, coming in, going out, coming in, going out, and a small area. Continuously are working for 3 days. This makes the mind very sharp, very sensitive. And at the end of 3 days, one finds that you start feeling subtler realities. Besides the breath, there are so many other realities. You feel sensations in this area, different kinds of sensations, which normally you don't feel. Your mind, conscious mind, feels only very solidified, intensified, intense, gross, unpleasant sensation like pain, pressure. That is easy, people feel it. But there are so many other sensations throughout the body, all the time. Some of them are so subtle, just oscillation, very subtle oscillation. So mind must be trained to feel all kinds of sensations. And then from the 4th day onwards, you feel those sensations throughout the body. So you are developing your faculty to enable you to feel all types of sensations in the body. And another part of Vipassana is when you are aware of sensations, you change the habit pattern, don't react. Whether pleasant sensation, unpleasant sensation, just observe objectively. Whatever is happening, keep on understanding, this is not eternal. Whatever sensation arises, it does not stay forever. Very unpleasant sensation as a result. Gross sensation. It arises, seems to stay for some time, but ultimately passes away. Sooner or later passes away. And when it turns into very subtle sensations, then it is mere vibration, arising, passing, with great rapidity. So the same characteristic makes no difference. When you understand that whatever is happening within the framework of the body is constantly changing, that means the entire physical structure, the entire mental structure constantly changing, something which is constantly changing, what is the sense to react with craving towards it or react with aversion towards it? You understand? With the wisdom of your experience. This is not just an intellectual understanding. Now you are experiencing it. So the habit pattern starts changing from the root level. To change the habit pattern at the surface level of the mind, very easy. There are many techniques. We will work on that. It gives result. But then if the impurity is at the depth of the mind, accumulated, time and again, there is a volcanic eruption. It comes on the surface and you are again agitated. The whole equanimity on the surface of the mind is gone. So that is why Buddha taught us to go to the depth of the mind and work with the depth of the mind. So that habit pattern is changed at the root level. If the root is decayed, then the whole tree will be decayed. If the root is healthy, then the whole tree will be healthy. So work at the root level. And he gave this wonderful technique. At the root level, mind is constantly in contact with body and body sensations. If you are aware of that and you are not reacting, your mind is becoming healthier and healthier, more and more wholesome. You live a better life. When the mind is pure, free from negativities, free from craving, then it generates love, compassion, goodwill. Instead of negative emotion, you start generating positive emotion, which is good for you, good for others. When you generate negative emotion, you are the first victim of your negativity. You become so miserable and you make others miserable. Instead of that, if you start generating positive emotion, you feel so much of peace and harmony. And you generate peace and harmony for others also. So you make others also happy. You are happy, others are happy. So this is a way of life, a good way of life, healthy way of life. Instead of making oneself miserable and making others miserable, now you start making yourself happy and make others happy.